Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 211 based on novel. So let's start. The army of the Gunwu universe was formed from 100 groups. The soldiers ranged over 100 million. In truth, such a big army to the universe country wasn't too big a problem at all. Firstly, the Gunwu universe country alone had over 100 million galaxies. Even if it grew naturally, one galaxy was able to produce one universe level. What's more, sector lords, domain lords were plenty. The Gunwu dojo was spread throughout the country. With guidance, the universe levels of the Gunwu universe country would on average grow to over 10 a galaxy, adding up to more than 1 billion. With that, over 100 million universe-level warriors was indeed not too heavy, and the universe country had enough new blood to constantly replenish these numbers. Luo Feng, the 9th army leader, is from our virtual universe company. He's also one of our core members. The black-robed lady introduced. I'm afraid I'll be troubling you for a while, leader. Luo Feng smiled. No problem. The tall and skinny man looked at the black-robed lady. I am also under the army department of the Gunwu department. If the envoy has any problems, just give the order, there's no trouble. Luo Feng glanced at the group of undyings behind this tall and skinny man. The tall and skinny man saw that and said seriously, these are the 100 captains of my 9th army. Some come from the virtual universe company and others from the Gunwu universe country. Luo Feng nodded. According to the details of the mail, the Gunwu Universe Country Army had over 10,000 Undyings as captains, and these Undyings, half of them are from the Virtual Universe Company and the other half from the Gunwu Universe Country. They were mixed evenly within the army. It guaranteed the army wouldn't be monopolized. What's more, the Gunwu Universe Country didn't dare mess with the Virtual Universe Company either. Envoy, what do you require our 9th army to do this mission? The tall and skinny man looked at Luo Feng. No rush, I'll send the details of the mission to you very soon. Luo Feng said. Ha ha ha, then I'll await your order. The man smiled. Before this meeting, the 9th army had no knowledge at all about the mission. The mission had to be kept completely secret. According to Luo Feng's plan, even during the final movement, he couldn't tell the 9th army of all the plans. The 9th army was after all only a resource he could use, a pawn. As time passed, Luo Feng used the Virtual Universe Network and the company's information system to confirm all details on the 1.200 million that he had to kill. After which he swiftly made a battle plan, passing the information of the 1.200 million and where they were to the leader of the 9th army. The moment the order was given, they had to head down and catch all of them. They needed to do it so that none were left. Complete massacre? The next step was to contact the Golden Horn Race Pagoda squadron. Luo Feng sat in the primal region of the virtual universe's Yuxiong mountain. Within his own study, he saw the large amount of information on his laptop screen. This was all information regarding the squadron. Gold Horn Clan, so similar to the Golden Horned Beast's name. Luo Feng smiled. Barbata clicked his lips. The Golden Horned Beast is one of the space beasts of the blood and flesh life forms. This Gold Horn race doesn't even belong to the flesh and blood life form. There were many different divisions of life forms in the universe, the flesh and blood, metal, AI, energy, plant, stone. Even if some belonged to the same group, their looks and body structure etc. would still have huge differences. Like the stone life forms, some of them looked just like stones, some like mountains, some like huge stones, while some have almost no hint of stone on the surface. From a quick glance they may even look human. Some look like other flesh and blood beasts, only the structure of their body within was different. What a peculiar race. Luo Feng looked at the detailed explanation, shocked. The Gold Horn race belonged to one of the stone life forms. They look similar to the polar race of humans. From the surface, you can't even see the difference. In truth, they eat mud, rubber, even their defecation comes out as crystal. Barbata said with disdain, even if you cut open their bodies, it's like cutting open some alloys. There won't be any trace of blood, much less the internal organs. That's because they don't need to breathe. Luo Feng nodded. The Gold Horn race belongs to a normal level race of the trillions of races in the universe. Barbata said with disdain, they are simply too weak and with a huge population, hence they require a larger territory. After not being able to make it on their own in the universe, they relied on humanity and became a subservient race of humanity, one of the pinnacle races. The universe races could be differentiated into the pinnacle races, powerful races, normal races and weak races. The Flame God race before belonged to the powerful races. The Gold Horn race was only a normal race. Not weak at all, they have many tribes within the race. Any team sent out by them already has an Emperor-level Undying and 7 official-level Undyings. Luo Feng exclaimed, if one tribe is so powerful, the entire race must be terrifying. When I say weak, it's compared to humanity. Barbata snapped, you must understand that no matter what, that is still an entire race. Even the weak races in the universe cannot be underestimated, otherwise they wouldn't even be able to survive in the universe. They would have long been swallowed up by the other powerful races. Barbata said, this Gold Horn race, from what I estimate, there's at least 100 Emperor-level Undyings. They probably have about 2 to 3 Universe Country-level warriors. Dominating the Gunwu Universe Country wouldn't be a problem. Luo Feng nodded. From the information they had, the Gold Horn race would indeed find it easy to dominate the Gunwu Universe Country. However, humanity's pinnacle strength was in truth gathered in the 5 powers. Just the strength of the Virtual Universe Company alone, like those in the Primal Universe. They could easily destroy Blood River World, easily creating an entire space. Humanity's strength was indeed deep and unfathomable. Of course, they are subservient to humanity. Barbata said, leave the dirty and dangerous work to them. The good things we leave to ourselves. Luo Feng smiled, shocked within. Surviving in the universe was indeed not easy. With their strength, the Gold Horn race could only be subservient to humanity, selling their lives to humanity, acquiring the resources they need to develop. They are considered not bad. Some weaker races can't even become subservient to humanity. Barbata said with disdain, they are immediately caught and sold as slaves. Luo Feng nodded. He thought of something. He himself should become a pillar of support to humanity of the universe, allowing the countless humans in the 1008 universe countries to lead peaceful lives within humanity's territories. When the Yunmo planet ship was still in the Dark Universe heading towards Red Dawn planet, a powerful little team had already reached there. Red Dawn planet, a very normal life planet, within one of the stations of the Virtual Universe Company. Within a luxurious completely gold palace. 9 warriors were scattered within. Their skin was green and their forehead had gold markings. The dishes laid out before them all had chemical compounds or gold materials. One of the gold-armored youths lifted the gold metal and gulped it down, complimenting, the flavor is good, the flavor in this alloy is exquisite. Everybody please look at the information. An old voice resounded. Sitting the highest was an old being completely covered in gold armor, revealing only a pair of old eyes. This is the leader of the humans they've assigned to us. It's also the person we have to take orders from. Kashna, you can eat later. First look at the information. Yes, teacher. The armored youth nodded. The other 7 Undyings all looked at the projected screen and its details. Luo Feng? The armored youth muttered. The youth from the aboriginal planet Earth participated in the Virtual Universe Company Genius competition at star level, shocking power, finally making it into the top 10 amidst countless absolute geniuses, entering the absolute beginning region. Hi, teacher, this punk is quite powerful. Continue reading. The old man ordered. The armored youth obediently continued. He stared wide-eyed. He actually made it into the primal region during his first qualification battles, an absolute genius of 10,000 eras? Supervisor Envoy, he's been an envoy for 50 years without any news everybody has seen. The old man gazed about, finally stopping at the youth. Kashna, we brought you here on orders of the leader, however you are only a sector lord in strength, so listen obediently and don't give us any trouble, understand? Understood, teacher. The armored youth nodded, however his eyes began to wander about after that. The old man didn't look at him anymore. Instead, he said loudly, from the information we have, this isn't a normal primal region genius. His improvement speed is very shocking. Even amongst the sector lord geniuses in the primal region in the Virtual Universe Company, his potential is amongst the top few. The 7 Undyings of the Pagoda squadron nodded. According to the race internal rules, such an absolute genius will eventually have the chance to become the upper echelon of humanity. We have to be on good terms with him. The gold-armored old man said, his voice gradually getting more serious, like blades clashing. This mission is our best chance to get on good terms with this Luo Feng. For our Gold Horn race to survive, we have to mix with the upper echelon of humanity, and their future upper echelon. Everything for the race, everything for the race. The 7 Undyings, including the armored youth, all said simultaneously. Enjoy the spread. The gold-armored old man said. The elite members of the Pagoda squadron all began to enjoy the alloy and special chemical compounds the Virtual Universe Company had specially ordered for them, laughing happily. Days passed. The space outside Red Dawn planet was peaceful. Suddenly the space rippled and a blood-colored triangular ship appeared. Your Majesty, that is Red Dawn planet ahead. Within the control room, Dylan pointed ahead. Luo Feng stood there. Beside him stood his 5-sector Lord Guards. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. Let's go meet the Undyings of the Gold Horn Squadron. The Yunmo planet ship swiftly rushed into the atmosphere of Red Dawn planet, activating its cloaking system, making itself invisible to the planet's security systems and the people of the planet. Not long after, it had already landed within the Virtual Universe Company's station there. Within the spacious villa, 9 Gold Horn race members stood there and looked at the blood-colored triangular ship. This is an F-grade ship. The armored youth's eyes gleamed. He was so excited his green skin glowed with hints of silver light, and it should be hybrid copper essence material completely. Such a ship, the amount of resources spent on this is Luo Feng, true wealthy leader. The 7 official level Undyings of the Gold Horn Pagoda Squadron all looked on with anticipation. Only the gold-armored old man smiled at everything. At this time, he wasn't wearing his helmet. Work hard. When you have the strength of an Emperor-level Undying, the race will help you get a F-grade ship too. The old man looked at the 7 official level Undyings and said, as a subservient race, the resources they got were naturally far from that of humanity's. Humanity, almost all official level Undyings had their own F-grade ships. As for the Emperor levels, millions of mixed elements meant little to them. It was different for the Gold Horn race. Within their race, those with Emperor-level Undying power could only then acquire 1 F-grade ship. As for the official-level Undyings, only few had such honor and glory. The cabin door opened. Under the supervision of the 9 Gold Horn clansmen, a black-haired youth in silver armor led his black-robed Undying Guard and 5-sector Lord Guards, flying out of the ship. After which, the huge Yunmo planet ship vanished from sight. Gold Horn Race's Pagoda Squadron Elder, Sai Fan Chi and his team welcomes Your Majesty Envoy Luo Feng. The gold-armored old man nodded at Luo Feng. The gold marking on his forehead flashed as the 8 behind all bowed, their gold markings flashing too. Elder Sai Fan Chi, no need for such courtesy. Luo Feng smiled and walked over, his gaze sweeping over the 8 others, frowning. Elder, why is there an extra person, Your Majesty Luo Feng? The gold-armored elder smiled, pointing at the intrepid armored youth. This is my team's Kashna. From birth till now, it's already been over 100,000 years, yet he's never left home. He followed our team out to see the universe and gain more experience. Please forgive us for this intrusion. Luo Feng nodded and smiled and looked at the armored youth. Kashna, very nice to meet you. The armored youth was filled with excitement. His green skin glowed with silver light as he said, Your Majesty Luo Feng, I'm very excited and happy to meet you. Thank you, thank you. Luo Feng discovered immediately that this armored youth was somewhat silly in the way he spoke. Not strange. The flesh and blood life forms of the universe were one of the strongest life forms amongst the others. Mostly because their intellect was very high. Like the plant life forms, even a sector lord level plant wouldn't be able to compare to a normal human's mental calculation abilities. The Gold Horn race, as a stone life form, they are naturally not as smart. Of course, at Domain Lord and Sector Lord, their intellect wouldn't be lower than a normal human. They just needed to learn some commonly used human universe languages and speak more, then they wouldn't seem so silly. Your Majesty Luo Feng, let's head in and discuss the details of the mission. The gold-armored old man said. Luo Feng nodded. They walked side by side into the hall. Dylan and the other 7 official level Undyings all walked beside each other and entered. Within the hall, Luo Feng sat down alongside the other Undyings, looking at the Gold Horn race people before him. They all looked close to human. Only on careful observation would one realize they had differences. Like their voices, it was like metal knocking against each other. According to the mission the Virtual Universe Company sent us, we have to deal with 2 Undyings this time, one official level called Yao Hao and another upper-level general called Jeffrey. The gold-armored old man smiled. Our internal department has already discussed it. We will send 3 official level Undyings to deal with the official level Yao Hai. And another 4 official levels to deal with that upper-level General Jeffrey. We definitely won't let them escape. We definitely will succeed in killing them. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. The arrangement of the Virtual Universe Company was not bad. After all, the team even had 1 Emperor-level Undying. Actually, there was no other way. Defeating an Undying was easy, killing them was troublesome. Most of the time, they could only seal the Undying or put them in a comatose state. And truly killing an Undying was tens to hundreds of times harder than defeating them. This was also why they had to send such a huge team. Elder Sai Fan Chi's arrangement, I have no objections. Luo Feng smiled at the 9 members of the squadron before him. If the two undying targets are in two separate locations, we'll follow this plan. If something else occurs, we'll have to adapt. The gold-armored old man nodded. There is one thing I have to say clearly. Luo Feng looked at the 9 before him. The entire process of the mission, I require all of you to completely listen to my orders. There will be no individual movement. We understand this, the mission is the most important. The old man nodded. Very well. Luo Feng nodded. Then, we'll leave now. Leave now? The armored youth asked. This immediately made the gold-armored old man and the other 7 official-level Undyings look over at him, scaring the youth as he forced a laugh. From what I see, your clansman Kashna would be best by my side. Luo Feng smiled. I don't wish to have any slip-ups later. I want to follow my teacher. The armored youth said. No problem, Your Majesty, Luo Feng. The gold-armored old man replied, staring coldly at the youth, causing him to lower his head and listen obediently. Immediately, Luo Feng and the group split into 2 universe ships and left Red Dawn Planet, heading towards the capital planet of Dream Underworld Empire. The Yunmo Planet ship and the Gold Horn Race's Pagoda squadron ship proceeded together. Luo Feng sent a thread of consciousness into the virtual universe network, arriving in his own villa in the primal region. I need the accurate report of the targets Yao Hai and Jeffrey's current location. Luo Feng sat before his desk, his expression serious, and he looked at the screen. On it there was an incredibly beautiful jade-haired lady. Your Majesty Luo Feng, Jeffrey is currently in the capital planet, however Yao Hai hasn't appeared all this while. We suspect he is in his god country. The jade-haired lady said respectfully. Rubbish. Luo Feng immediately roared, if he's in his god country, how can we kill him? We cannot find his god country, and he can use it to teleport to an incredibly far location. I don't need a reason now, I only need results. I want you to give me an accurate coordinate and location, simultaneously guaranteeing Yao Hai is on that planet. The jade-haired lady felt cold sweat drip down. I know your information system works on a huge scale and has many responsibilities, doing many things at the same time. However, my mission right now is incredibly important too. If there's no result, Luo Feng ordered, I would have to reflect your incompetence to the headquarters and personally deal with matters myself. 3 days, these last 3 days, you have to give me an accurate answer. Yes? Your Majesty. The jade-haired lady said respectfully, not daring to look up. After which the line was shut. Luo Feng sat before his desk, fuming. Don't be angry, this is very normal. The virtual universe is such a huge power, its information system is huge too, simultaneously dealing with matters of the 1008 universe countries, doing reports on the other races, assassinations, espionage, they are constantly at max output. Your matter is probably low on their priority, hence they wouldn't spend too much energy on it. Barbata muttered. I know. Luo Feng said indifferently. The time limit of the mission was a year. The information system department of the company naturally knew of this limit, hence they wouldn't be too anxious at the beginning. They could easily gather the detailed information on the 1.200 million people. However, as for the Undying hiding in his god country, they had no way to check, and they were too lazy to spend too much energy on it. They only had to give the accurate location within the time limit and they wouldn't lose their jobs. As for whether Luo Feng could complete it, they couldn't be bothered. With the virtual universe company's information system ability, if they can't find Yao Hai, then they can simply lure him out, no? Luo Feng smiled coldly, have a random huge Undying gathering and send mass invitations, also sending it to Yao Hai. Wouldn't he show himself? There are many ways. It's only they are reluctant to do it. 3 days later, Luo Feng was in the Yunmo Planet ship along with the Gold Horn Race Pagoda squadron ship, even the 9th Army's 30 huge interstellar battleships. They all stopped about 1,200 light-years away from the capital planet of Dream Underworld Empire, on a mineral planet. The moment the chance arises, they would swiftly go through universe transfer, not even taking an hour, landing on the capital planet. The 9th Army's 30 interstellar battleships were only 30 groups. 1 official-level Undying, 30 Undying generals, 3,000 sector lords, 30,000 domain lords and 300,000 universe-level soldiers. So many were required because of the 1.200 million targets, with close to 30 million on the capital planet, of which many were important figures. The information system has yet to give me Yao Hai's exact location. Luo Feng stood within the control room of the Yunmo Planet ship, looking at the desolate mineral planet, his eyes raging. Luo Feng, the virtual universe company has requested a call, it's the information system. Barbata's voice resounded in his mind. The blood-red triangular ship stopped on a mountain in a desolate mineral planet. In the other regions of this planet, there were 30 enormous interstellar battleships, along with a ship for the Pagoda squadron of the Gold Horn race. At the core of the battleships lay the Yunmo planet ship. Within a dining hall inside the Yunmo planet ship. How long will we wait? The armored youth said impatiently as he ate. Why hasn't the information system department given us the exact location of our target? We don't even know where he is right now, and we have no way to make a move. Are we to simply just wait here, be quiet? The gold-armored old man glanced at him. Await the order. The tall and skinny Ninth Army leader said coldly, the information system wouldn't care about your complaints. The armored youth pouted. Footsteps. The Ninth Army leader and the gold-armored old man turned simultaneously. Immediately, the cabin door in the distance automatically opened and a silver-armored Luo Feng smiled and walked in. Behind him, Dylan followed him. Looking at Luo Feng's smile, the Ninth Army and the old man couldn't help but smile too. Seems like good news. The armored youth muttered too. Friends. Luo Feng smiled carefree. Right now, our undying target Yao Hai is having a ceremony in the capital planet. Ha ha, fantastic. The armored youth jumped up excitedly. The gold-armored old man and the Ninth Army leader both stood up. I didn't expect the information system to be so efficient. The Ninth Army leader smiled. Beside him the gold-armored old man chimed in. The probably didn't dare delay His Majesty Luo Feng. Let's go, follow me to the control room. Luo Feng ordered. Immediately Luo Feng led with his guard Dylan, the leader of the Pagoda squadron Elder Sai Fan Chi with Kashna and the Ninth Army leader followed behind. The leaders of this entire mission all gathered within the control room of the Yunmo planet ship. Standing within the control room, Luo Feng glanced outside at the scenery of the desolate mineral planet, saying coldly, Pagoda squadron, 30 groups of the Ninth Army, the target is Dream Underworld Empire capital planet, head out, yes, yes, yes. There were many head figures on the screen, a total of 31, these were the captains of the 30 interstellar battleships. Rumble. The Yunmo planet ship along with the Pagoda ship, one ahead of the other, became beams of lights and swiftly rushed into the skies. Rumble, the land shook. 30 enormous interstellar battleships that were over 10 kilometers in length gradually rose into the skies, their speeds accelerated and finally became 30 shooting stars, flying towards space. When Luo Feng was leading the team swiftly through the dark universe heading towards the capital planet, on that capital planet, it was a luxurious scene. The capital planet had always been the core of business and economy, it gathered the upper echelon of the universe country. And today, a huge and extremely grand ceremony was being held. The ones invited were the highest of people within the Dream Underworld Empire. 2 ND Princess, I heard that undying of our empire is a great person within the Ganwu universe country. A beautiful lady lifting a wine glass, dressed in a purple dress was in the corner softly chatting with another beautiful lady with jade green hair, hence even the head ancestor is coming personally to welcome him. The head ancestor, the person coming must be an undying. The jade green hair princess's eyes gleamed. I haven't seen an undying from the universe country. You'll see in a moment, princess. The lady smiled. The dining hall was bustling with activity. The upper echelon of the empire that had arrived much earlier all conversed softly. A few beautiful women were amongst them looking at the other youths. These sort of upper echelon ceremonies were usually the best chance for youths to find partners outside the capital planet. The space seemed to ripple. Triangular blood-colored universe ship appeared first. Following closely behind was the Pagoda ship and finally the incredibly huge interstellar ships that gathered across the space. Your Majesty, that is the capital planet of the Dream Underworld Empire. Dylan smiled and pointed ahead. Luo Feng looked ahead too. Looking from space, that Dream Underworld capital planet looked like it was covered in mist, a layer of dark green covered it. What a beautiful planet. Luo Feng complimented softly, it's a pity today it'll be destroyed by war. That cannot be avoided. Dylan emphasized. The targets this time were the official level Undying Yao Hai and the upper level General Undying Jeffrey, as Undyings that could easily ripple the entire planet. The moment the mission began, there was no question the entire planet would be affected. Elder Sai Fan Chi. Luo Feng shouted. Your Majesty. The elder of the Pagoda squadron listened intently to the order. In a while, you will bring your team to kill Yao Hai and Jeffrey. Luo Feng said softly, I hope, to the best of your ability, to let the normal civilians live. Of course, the top priority is still to kill the 2 Undyings. Understood. Elder Sai Fan Chi nodded. Luo Feng looked at the beautiful planet in space, his eyes slowly concentrating, ordering coldly, 9th Army, 30 groups, surround the entire capital planet. The moment the mission begins, stop and destroy any ships that try to flee. Understood, understood. 30 replies continuously, move. Luo Feng ordered. Immediately, the huge 30 interstellar battleships that surrounded the Yunmo planet ship began to disperse, preparing to surround the capital planet from space, able to block all traffic in and out within the region. Elder Sai-Fan Chi, your team should move too. Luo Feng looked at Sai-Fan Chi, Your Majesty, don't worry, our Pagoda team will definitely kill Yao Hai and Jeffrey. The gold-armored old man's eyes were extremely confident. Remember, you have to open broadcast channels with the Virtual Universe Network. Luo Feng said. Synchronized broadcast, this would allow the battle footage to be instantly recorded and sent to the Virtual Universe Network, and as this form of broadcast was controlled by the Virtual Universe system, there was no way to fake it. The detailed progress of these missions etc. all had to be synchronized broadcast. Understood. The old man nodded. It all lands on you, Elder. Luo Feng said to the old man, killing the two of them is this mission's most important part. If we fail, we'll lose a big half of it. We definitely cannot let them escape. Elder Sai-Fan Chi, I'll be in space awaiting your news. Let's go. Luo Feng watched the gold-armored old man leave. He became a blur and swiftly flew out of the Yunmo planet ship, entering the neighboring Pagoda ship. Within that ship was 1 Emperor-level Undying and 7 official-level Undyings. They swiftly became a beam of light and flew towards the atmosphere of the capital planet. Barbata, the moment the battle begins, engage long-distance broadcast. I need to see the process of the battle. Luo Feng said. No problem. The Virtual Universe Company had upgraded many of the systems in here very well. We are very close to the planet, completely within the scanning range. Barbata shouted excitedly from the screen. Remember, only begin the scan when the battle begins, or we'll alert them too early. Understood. Luo Feng looked on at that peaceful, beautiful planet, along with the 30 interstellar battleships about, like 30 moons hovering about the planet. It's begun. Luo Feng took a deep breath. Within the ceremony hall. The God Leader is here. A powerful voice resounded throughout the grand ceremony hall. The hall, which was originally filled with rampant discussions, instantly grew silent. The royal elites and upper echelon, all the distinguished people of the Dream Underworld Empire, all became incredibly humble and respectful as they waited patiently. At the door of the hall, 3 silhouettes entered. A formless undying law ripple caused all the sector lords, domain lords, universe levels and many other normal people to feel the pressure. Greetings, God Leader. After which a sector lord knelt first on the ground. Immediately, everyone within the hall all knelt down, shouting loudly, Greetings, God Leader. The sound resounded throughout the hall. Standing on the stage before everybody was a green-armored, handsome normally-looking boy at first glance. His forehead had a peculiar crystal embedded within. This seemingly simple youth was the emperor who opened the empire within the Dream Underworld Empire, the head ancestor Yao Hai. He, Yao Hai? He had the greatest power within the Dream Underworld Empire. Today, I'm very happy. Yao Hai smiled, his voice resounding in everyone's ears. The 2 other Undyings standing beside him, one of which was tall and sturdy with a pointy head. He was the number 2 person in this empire, Yao Hai's disciple, Undying Jeffrey. Another on the other side, dressed in a dark gold long robe with long snow-like white hair, smiling, almost like a radiant Sunday. Because the universe country's Lord Long Kaya has come to our Dream Underworld. Yao Hai's voice suddenly stopped. He frowned. Even Jeffrey and that white-haired Undying all frowned. They looked up, because the 3 Undyings could feel powerful god energy brushing past them. This was an incredibly disrespectful thing to do. The upper echelon members gathered in the hall all looked up suspiciously. Ha ha, what a crowded ceremony. Hee hee, the humans really know how to enjoy. Right, look at the little doll on the stage. Ha ha. Different sorts of noises that were like glass being scratched resounded throughout the hall, causing many of them to not be able to help but cover their ears. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.